welcome back. This is the Muzzle Break podcast. I'm Josh, your host, and with me every week, as normal, is Brian. Brian, you're looking very colorful in your new shirt today.
Yeah, I like it.
It looks like you've got some new tattoo work going on there today.
A little bit.
Yeah. Why don't we tell the kids at home what we've been doing?
Don't get your fingers tattooed, kids.
You think it's the most painful tattoo that you've had?
By far. Well, down towards your, what would you say, cuticles?
Yeah, your cuticles, nail bed.
Even the tattoo artist like, are you f***ing nuts? Yeah, it wasn't fun.
We'll have to bleep that out. I think we were looking at the YouTube rules. I think it's like the first 10 minutes you're not supposed to swear.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
We'll bleep it out, but it's
I'm not going to swear this whole podcast.
It's like
watch.
It's like a mini Lent. It's like a mini Lent for Brian. We can see if we got 45 minutes of swearing Lent here.
Can't you just go beep?
Yeah. Sarah, my sister will edit that first 10 minutes.
Sorry,
but after 10 minutes, it's free reign. People show up, they know that we're going to talk like this and giggle along with us. I hope you guys are enjoying this and having fun. Let us know in the comments, like, if you're enjoying this, what you guys want us to talk about. We just kind of come up with whatever we want to talk about, whenever we want to talk about. So it's kind of a little off the rails, but I hope that you enjoyed last week's podcast with Evan. He's a great dude. He's got a great company. We had a great time with the class. I learned a bunch. I always learn. He's continually improving that class. So Peter took one of his first class. Well, he was one in the first class with us when he came up several years ago. But now it's got even more information in there, and he's giving us a lot of good insight on the radio world. So if you're watching and you've taken that class with us before, come and take it again. He'll be in July and in November this year, and you'll really learn a lot. And even if you've taken it once before, come and take it a second time. You're going to learn just as much as you did the first time. So I'll run down the training schedule like I normally do, and let me grab my phone here. So the next class coming up is next month, and it is, sorry guys, April 26th. It's a one-day pistol course. It's 250. We're going to go through about 500 rounds here at the shop. Sonny, Evan, and Brian will all be here training with you guys, or teaching that training regimen. I'm really excited. It's really great. We had we started it last year, and we had people come. They loved it. They learned lots of information. People always ask, what does it cover? I was like, well, it takes you from a very, very basic, like, this is a pistol, and at the end we're doing movement to contact and all kinds of different things as the class allows. That all depends on size and the ability for people to stay safe. We don't want to do anything that's unsafe here. So go on our website, griffinarms.net. Front page is the schedule. You can sign up there. It's $250. If you have a problem signing up on that, just give a call here to the shop, and we can sign you up manually here at the shop as well. On May 17th and 18th, we have Green Line Tactical, Don Edwards, a Rangerback guy. He's coming in to do a red dot pistol course. It's a dedicated red dot pistol course. So if you have a modern pistol with a red dot on it and you need some training, or you just want to know all the little proclivities that are tied up with having a red dot on your pistol, come out to that class. He is a very, very good teacher. He's got lots of insight, lots of knowledge that you guys can gain from that. So that is on May 17th and 18th. Again, you can sign up on that on our front page at griffinarms.net. And then June, we have KJ Kim Jenkins is coming in from Philadelphia, and she's going to do a CCW class. She's really squared away in her concealed carry draws and teaching people. I'm really excited to have her She's gonna be. This is. We're hoping that this is gonna be a recurring thing with her. I think that she's gonna really enjoy, coming out here and teaching with us, and we're really looking forward to hosting her. So that would be in June, on June 21st and 22nd. So that is also open for sign up as well. So come out and take that class with Kim, and that's an only females course. There's no males involved in that, so there's no intimidation. There'll be some of our guys doing the RSO stuff for her there, but for the most part, it is all females that are going to be leading and teaching. So we're just there to make sure everybody stays safe. So check those things out on griffinarms.net and sign up and get your class. All the other classes for the year are up there too. We will be adding more. So we'll be talking about it on the podcast, but keep your eye on griffinarms.net under the schedule part of the front page there. So we're done with that. How was your week, Brian?
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It was, normal.
You took like, you weren't able to stay the whole time, but you started taking the Radio Made Easy class. How did you feel about that?
It was a lot of, like I told Evan, it was a lot of information that when you're in the military, you just kind of overlook because you have a radio guy and you're just like, hey, fix my radio or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of a lot of stuff that when you're not doing it, you don't care about because it's getting spoon fed to you or whatever. But I took the first day of it. It was mostly like PowerPoint stuff, but it kind of opens your eyes to like everyday use of what you could use that people don't
realize.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because you had to go, you took like basically all of the really
Death by
sucky,
PowerPoint.
You did like all the sucky preliminary stuff, and you didn't get an opportunity to do a lot of the extra fun stuff. So
everyone, like he said, everyone relies on this so much.
It's easy. Yeah, it's really, really easy.
And then these people that live in these ginormous rural areas like where we are, sometimes you don't have
cell service or the ability to get a signal.
I know that your family uses.
Yeah, we use it all over the farm all the time, and we use it between, even our vehicles and buildings and things like that, because it's just a way to coordinate, what everybody's doing at any given point in time. Let's talk about the gun of the week. This is something that came into the shop. This is a Walther P38. Pretty awesome. I don't think we really talked about this at all. A lot of people don't understand the background of this gun, or a lot of people will say, "Oh, that's a Luger," and it's like, no, it's not. It's not a Luger. It is the answer, I guess, to the problem that the Luger had in the series of pistols. There was the Borchardt pistol, which the Borchardt pistol was the first semi-automatic like commercial pistol produced, and then after the Borchardt came the Luger, and that again both of those designs are very, very complicated and required a lot of extra machining and things. It's extremely expensive to find. Like a Borchardt pistol, I would love to have and own a Borchardt pistol. So if anybody's watching out there has a Borchardt pistol, wants to sell a Borchardt pistol, contact me. I would love to have one. So, but the Luger was the next design, against a toggle lock action. So it was, really complicated and expensive to produce. The P38 was the answer to the Luger being expensive. This is a much cheaper design. It's a much simpler design. And this was made famous, mostly through World War II, as this was like really easy for them to make.
Wait, so that they carried?
Yeah, the Luger, German made guns that were in the hands of a lot of people were either the Luger or the P38.
For the Nazi regime.
For the Nazis. So I don't even think we can say that word until the first 10 minutes. It's like considered a swear. Isn't that crazy? Aren't the legal terms N words?
I guess which gun would you rather have?
I think that the P38 was probably the P38 was probably the better design as far as like a design carried, by people. But yeah, it's definitely, um, it's definitely simple, but there are some complex things. Like that decocker was something very, very new, and it's somewhat complicated in putting that together. Now I have one that was made in the spree work manufacturer. I have a couple of these. I have one that was made by Walther for during World War II, and then I have one that was made by Spreework. And the Spreework, they were either Polish, they were Polish Jews, and a lot of them had. Obviously they were getting exterminated at that time, so they had a lot of animosity for the
Wait, so they were like making them make their weapons too?
Yeah. So they would sabotage them. The one that I have, what like the safety sometimes doesn't work because they would make them really, really rough, or they wouldn't finish them correctly so that the safeties wouldn't work or the guns wouldn't fire at all. Later in the war. So
Wow,
it was a big deal. It was a big deal, back then. So, yeah, this is technically a P1. So the P1s came out later, like in the 60s, because they used this design like all the way up to into the 70s, but and probably further than that. But the P1 was an aluminum frame, much lighter weight than the other ones. So
it's a very distinct looking gun.
Yeah,
everyone looks at it and is like, "Oh, that's
barrel.
a Luger," or "That looks like a Luger."
Yeah, and there's a common misconception that's what, but it came from the same lineage, but the designs are completely different. This is actually more akin to probably the Beretta 92, where it has this toggle lock here. This is how the mechanism locks up as it builds pressure. For 1911s and other, tilt lock designs, the barrel actually tilts and then locks the chamber. This has a little cam here that, as the chamber pressure increases, it locks it, and then it becomes unlocked as it cycles the round. And there's two captive springs in that, which was kind of a revolutionary idea for the guide rod spring. There aren't many guns that have this double guide rod spring. Most of them nowadays have one single guide rod that goes underneath. So it's a pretty neat design. It's definitely minimalistic in its design for sure.
They still make them?
No, they're done. No, they haven't made these. This is probably...
That's in really good shape.
Yeah, this one's from 1984. So you're laughing over there, Peter.
Would you consider that to be like a historical collector gun?
Yeah. People definitely collect P38s. They're a great gun to collect just because their design. It's just a really iconic looking design. And as I struggle to put this all back together, and we got to put down the lifter because I don't have a magazine in there, and boop, back together.
What did like your SS guys carry?
They would have carried this or the Luger. Like I said, any officers would have had a choice basically, or probably at the beginning they probably issued a bunch of Lugers out just because they had those from World War One. But this gun has a lot more features going for it. The dust cover up here to keep crap out of the action, and the power extractor, and it's just probably for warfare, this is probably a better gun because it's less finicky, especially with like ammunition and all that. It's blowback as opposed to a toggle design. So yeah, it's a great timeless design in my estimation. I don't shoot them all that well just because it's kind of light in the front. And so it's got a kind of a weird recoil impulse that you have to get used to. But yeah, it's an awesome pistol. And it's iconic. Like I said, most people look at it and say, oh, Luger. Well, they're not too far off, but it is not a Luger. It is a completely different design. The form looks that way.
So yeah, that's what I was saying. Like it's,
but it's like got a blowback slide as opposed to a toggle where it toggles. Yeah, so P38, it's here in the shop. If you guys want to come out and take a look at it, it's got the box and everything from the importer, which is pretty cool. It's got Walther, on the box, so you don't see a lot of the boxes because they were just kind of a plain brown box. But yeah, there's lots of famous pictures with a P38, but they just yeah, they made a shorter version of these. They cut them down for like police work and whatnot, but eventually these got replaced with the P7, the P6, and the P5. Walther's submission was the P5. There's a video on with Uncle Guns underneath, that you guys can search and look at, that I did. Was a pretty cool little pistol, but these were definitely just kind of sidelined, and eventually just phased out with like the SIG P6 was a big favorite with police, just because it's not really balanced well, and the recoil is a little bit goofy.
it'd be like a weird draw too, out of like a.
Yeah, you'd have a lot of extra. You kind of feel like you were past it, and you still have this barrel hanging out. Yeah, it's really not all that much longer than like a 5-inch 1911 or something like that. But it is just it's strange. It has a weird recoil impulse, and they're just for me they're a little bit harder to shoot. So some people I'm sure love them. But and then we can talk about this. This is from our friends over at SOE Tactical. John over there. He was kind enough to send this with Evan at Radio Made Easy. So this is his little micro rig, which I think is pretty cool. You can carry up to 4 magazines, either AR or AK, and these little flaps are adjustable. This stuff is like really, really well built. I don't know, you have a lot more gear time than I do, but then they have this big pouch here that you can either put extra magazines in, or you can put med pouch or radios, or whatever your little heart desires, and then chem lights under here, or probably tourniquets, or could you put a grenade on that? I don't know.
I mean, if you got a carabiner.
Dink. So, and then it's got this great Velcro patch in the back, so like if you wanted to stick this onto your carrier, you could. He also sells like this thing that he calls a FUPA, which is funny, but it also will attach on there, and that gives you some extra storage. I know that he doesn't make this H rig in this. This is a custom rig. He doesn't like Tiger Stripe, but I love Tiger Stripe. So, dude, make me more of this stuff in Tiger Stripe, okay? People love Tiger Stripe. They don't, whatever. Like,
there's not a lot of it out there anymore.
Yeah, Tiger Stripe is freaking cool, and like that Flecktarn camo that you've got on there, that's pretty freaking cool. That's like old Mossberg and old like German stuff. What did you have to say over there, Peter, for yourself? Talk. What?
So this would be
it's like an old.
This would be like a flak jacket, you would wear
like a Pals.
Yeah, like you would wear it. Like if a lot of the times, like if we didn't have to wear our body armor, like if we were training or whatever, you just throw on like something like this.
That. Yeah.
But then these are nice because you can just unbuckle this. And then a lot of plate carriers, or you can get adapters to where they have like buckles and stuff like that, and you can just snap this right into your plate carrier. So it makes it, and it's not like cheap crap.
No, he makes really nice stuff, and like I'm always really impressed with any of the stuff. But make more stuff in Tiger Stripe, John. Like nobody wants your stupid black multicam. Who wears that? What mall ninjas? Huh?
And then like this is good for people that like don't have plate carrier, like you know what I mean. The average person isn't gonna spend $300-$400 on a plate carrier. I mean, you could spend however that much costs on his website, and I get it. Don't have body armor, but if you're training at the range, you can have something.
Or if you had this set up in your car,
Yes.
you know, and throw this on top, it'd be something easier to hide than like a whole chest rig or whatever. But I like the modularity. I like myself personally, like my carrier is stripped, like it's just the plate carrier, and then whatever magazine rig, like I have this one, and then I have another one that's similar to this, and I just dump that on over top of my plate carrier. So it's kind of gives you another level of being modular, you know, with my battle belt and all that stuff. So
it's like you're running like a 2-piece thing.
Yeah, 2-piece. I don't know how you guys, you know, carried it.
You could do both. You could technically do both because they issued us flak jackets and plate carriers. So with that type of stuff and like setting up your kit, it's like all personal preference, especially because I'm left-handed. You're right-handed. Your kit's going to be way different than mine.
Right.
Like I liked my tourniquet to be up here. I had like a little pouch up here to have pen, anything like batteries, extra batteries for nods, anything. And then I would have like my med pouch was over here. And then obviously like for deployment anyway, I direct mounted my stuff on my plate carrier just because.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah, it's just an extra
it's
thing
simple.
that I gotta, you know what I mean? And if you gotta draw up your rifle quick, I mean, it might happen with me, it might not happen with me. It's another thing to get caught on. Like just layers of stuff. And like I said, this is cool, this is awesome. But like that's how I did it, that's how I liked it, whatever.
Sure.
Like, but this is nice again, because you can unsnap that and directly put it to your plate carrier, so you don't have like, because you'll be wearing a backpack and all that stuff if you mounted this to your plate carrier. And that makes it nice because you can just direct snap it right to your stuff or whatever.
Right. And but this is the best camo. Just like everybody should. Peter, why are you shaking your head? No.
So my vote. What is your favorite? We're gonna get into this. What is your favorite?
Turn your mic on. Speak into it clearly.
I like the duck camo we have, but I do. One didn't like. I have the black.
You like the black?
You like the
black and
black
gray
multi-cam?
Yeah, I do.
Why?
Or,
That's dumb.
Ranger green.
What?
Or the Ranger
Just
green.
straight green?
Yeah.
I do like just the straight Ranger green, but this is cool stuff too because the Green Berets carry. This is the camo they had in Vietnam. Yeah.
I like the woodland. If I wanted to pick
the M81, the woodland. Yeah, that is and I mean honestly, like if you're around our neck of the woods, you're gonna hide really, really well. You're gonna hide better than you'll stick out like a sore thumb with the black camo for
like
sure.
When I went in, we
like
had
freaking
the ACUs.
Mall Ninja.
Like the ACUs were blue, like the bluish tint. Like who came up with and I don't know if this is true or not, but they said the reason why they came up with that is because when it gets dirty, it like somehow blends in. Like when it gets
so you gotta go roll in the mud. Yeah. So you look like Swamp Thing. Yeah, of
that's
course.
What I heard, and then I also heard a thing where they like had people vote on which camo looks the best. I get it.
ACUs was dumb though.
Yes, it's terrible. There's no pro to it. There's zero pro to like how that looked.
Yeah.
At least the marine camo was like green. Digicam was like green, black, and brown, and you could somewhat blend into whatever. But you look like you look blue, like you're blue. It's got like a bluish tint. And then when we deployed, we got multicam, which I do think multicam it does blend well for the terrain. With lots of things, with the terrain and stuff like that. But now it's so mass produced, like everything's multicam. Multicam hats, multicam pants, multicam this, multicam.
You should definitely equip stuff, you know, to match like the region that you live in.
Yes.
Right. Like, you know, this would be great in our neck of the woods. What you got on is okay. Maybe in the fall, you know, in our neck of the woods. The woodland would definitely be a nice addition, but you never answered, Peter. What is your favorite camo other than black?
The black one.
Black is not a camo.
The old school
The woodland,
that's
the woodland
camo. You
which
like that one?
I think the Marsoc uses still.
Oh, do they?
Marine Raiders. I'm pretty sure that they use all. Well, I'm sure that like Cry Precision has some sort of
super duper.
Yeah, they make good stuff, but it's really expensive for us civilians now.
Yeah.
But it's all pumped through, and they were running the woodland. We had the multicam. I don't know what the Navy's got going on. They had like that really blue one. That was like probably when you wasn't it really blue?
They had the really. But you look like a space marine or something like
they
that.
Have two different ones for like. I thought there was a blue one for the summertime, or maybe that was Marines, because Marines was Digicam, and then they also have a different color for summer and winter time.
I'm not sure,
but yeah, I mean it's. I don't know.
Camo's interesting. Those guys over at that Americana Pipe Dream, they make me laugh. If any of them are watching this, you need to come on the show and we'll
My question is like, why? And maybe someone can answer this somewhere. If I'm a sniper in like a cool guy unit, why aren't I wearing just hunting camo?
Yeah, well, I think that don't they use a lot of ghillie suits, like environmental stuff?
They use ghillie suits, but like if you're just out, like why wouldn't you just, Pennsylvania, like 10 out of 20 people that walk in here have some sort of hunting camo on.
No, for sure.
Like why wouldn't you use hunting camo?
Yeah, I mean
to blend in like.
But I think they can do it so much better with those ghillie suits.
True.
But I mean, they're not probably always using that kind of stuff, right?
No.
Especially
I mean,
urban warfare.
Yeah, I mean, most of those. I mean, just from reading stuff in Iraq, like they would just be
t-shirts and flip flops.
Well, stocked up in buildings, like 5-6 feet away from the window, just like in their t-shirt, just
waiting.
Picking people away that are on their cell phones, talking to their mom, and they thought they were calling it an IED. Hey, mother, how are you doing? Because like back then, it was like, dude.
We laugh about some dark stuff, That's like that's
but it's
the funny
true.
thing.
Like,
yeah, no, it is true. Like Peter's cringing over there. Like I can't even see Peter's face, but I can see the back of his head. He kind of scrunches his neck when we start to talk about uncomfortable things. It makes me laugh.
But like everyone just wants to like turn a blind eye to all this stuff. But it's like, dude. During the beginning of the Iraq War, if you felt threatened at all by a cell phone, like that's it. Like there was no like
just on people on their new Nokias,
like playing that snake game.
He got zapped playing my snake game. Holy shit!
But yeah, like I'm pretty sure that they even sell like grip tape now that's camo.
Yeah, that goon tape.
Yeah,
those goon tape people.
Like multicam or whatever.
Peter was, and I know we've got some friends from Goon Tape that watch the show. So, like, tell us why Goon Tape is better than hockey tape, because I was talking to Peter about that, and he was complaining that it was just really expensive hockey tape, which it might be, but support the Second Amendment, base here, Peter. You freaking communist. What's wrong with you?
I used tape.
You love the Canadian tape or what?
My son plays hockey.
It's just extra hockey tape that you use. I don't know if it was goon tape or not, but we used tape for like I would wrap my pressure switch down like where my hand would go or whatever.
Okay. Well, I would have chewed your hand up quite a bit on the hand guard.
Yeah, and then
your little delicate hands.
Yeah.
Now that you have them tattooed, your heart.
And then I always ran
hard as F.
And then this is another thing. What type of gloves? What type of? I'm a mechanics guy.
Yeah, the mechanics gloves. That's what I get. What about you, Peter? You have like those old brown gardening gloves from your grandma, or what?
I do have to show everyone this because this is like.
All right, here we go. Behind the scene. I do like this. This does make.
So. all you guys out there that want to build like a kit for your house or whatever, and I'm not like downgrading ops core or anything like that. This is just the cheap way to do it.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
Buy like a regular Mitch helmet, and you can actually like frame it out and cut it into a, I mean, you can obviously wear a regular Mitch helmet still in it if you have, or train under nods, or like we're doing the Night Fighter class here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's perfect. You can even buy one of those bump helmets, which I don't think they're very much, maybe like $200.
Yeah.
But it's more or less like a skateboarding helmet.
Mm-hmm.
But this is an actual
ballistic rated helmet.
Ballistic rated. Oh,
Yeah.
I just spit. Ballistic rated helmet. Never really tried it out, thank God, for ballistic rating.
Mm-hmm.
But this was an issued military helmet that you basically just buy your rails for, cut, and then get like a sealant, because it's made out of a lot of fiberglass in there,
Mm-hmm.
and seal where that fiberglass was. And I know there'll be people out there that, if they watch this, to be like, well, does that dumb down the rating of the helmet? If you're getting shot in the head, you're getting shot in the head. I mean, there's not it's not. This
If you get
isn't
shot in the head, somebody is wiping your ass for the rest of your life, dude. Like whether that bullet got stopped or not, like your eggs are freaking scrambled. Like I almost don't want to run a helmet just because, like, if I get shot in the head, I don't want anybody wiping my ass. I just want to be dead. You know, I just want to be cooked.
And I think that like helmets are more so for like shrapnel and like
indirect stuff.
Yeah. Because you're never gonna get the protection that like
shot in the
plate.
head.
Yeah.
If you get shot in the head,
you're gonna be walking around with a drool cup the rest of your life. But yeah, it's just an easier way or a cheaper way to like make. And I know that everyone doesn't have like a big budget to spend on this stuff, and I just figured I would share what I did, because I didn't really want to go out and spend $1,000 on a helmet.
Yeah, and it's not necessary, but like that's, and yeah, people will say it is necessary, you know, blah blah blah. It's like, okay, well, everything has a cost like return to it, you know what I mean? And I'm sure you could pick up a Mitch helmet for not a ton of money. It does have a ballistic rating. It is able to do, you know, it served lots and lots of people, you know, really well, and you're going to cut the ears out of it, and it's going to be perfectly fine, and you'll be able to do, because like if you're getting shot at to the point where like you got to have a helmet, like your training is probably it's probably just like you're probably running away from something. Like and if you're not running away from something, you like your helmet needs to be a different helmet. It needs to be that helmet that you don't fall out of bed at night.
And I will say the most important thing about doing this, and like I said with the Night Fighter class, Evan was just in here, and he actually mentioned something that gets brought up a lot. You have a lot of front weight with the nods. So you're like, we're not used to wearing nods. I've been out of the military for how long? So your neck, like our necks will be sore the next day. Obviously, when you're used to that, wearing a helmet, all that crap, blah, blah, blah. I'm a civilian now. I don't walk around with nods on. So I will say, if you do own a helmet and you're running the regular Mitch chin strap, which doesn't have the quick, because back in the day, you would just have to pull a tab and it was kind of cheap. But these have the adjuster. Yep, the adjuster that literally just fits to your head, and these just like you can literally just pull these all the way out, so it'll be big. And then when you strap your chin strap on, you just pull those down, and it cinches right to your head.
We'll ratchet strap it down.
Yeah,
but you have a place for a counterweight in the back too.
Yes.
So
and usually like back here, if you owned your own, like if you were doing it professionally, you would rig this up to where like if you mounted your nods, instead of having to change out your battery every how many hours, if you're running your nods a lot, I mean, I don't know the hourly rating or whatever like that, but they make like these giant battery packs to where you don't have to, you know.
And that's kind of your counterbalance too.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do live one week. Well, I have a helmet here that I'm gonna cut up and put together like that. Maybe we'll just do that
It's like
live.
a good do like all those
DIY.
Yeah, DIY, do it yourself.
We'll set up one. We'll set up one where you guys can watch us cut that helmet and go through all the steps with Brian. So I think that would probably be an interesting episode. So if you guys want to see that, like, put it down in the comments below and tell us that you want to. But
Yes, and this is an IR flag, and you got your little
IR
IR
identifier,
strobe,
yeah.
and all
it's
the
cool. Yeah, we'll get one together and we'll do a little build class for you guys, and so you can kit out with a Mitch helmet that you like. I'm sure that a Mitch helmet is probably a surplus thing now, isn't it? I'm sure they have a bunch of those. Just
Yeah,
laying around.
I don't. Is it? I know the one in Meadville. They have like really old stuff. But yeah,
that surplus.
Yeah,
store
yeah.
there.
Is there one in Hermitage?
There's a big one.
Is there really?
Oh, is it gone? Oh, that's a bummer. That was a good surplus store.
Dude, we could probably drive down right outside of Bragg and like get kitted up for like $25.
We could probably. Yeah, high cut Mitch helmet. Mitch level 4. Mitch helmet surplus. Yeah, for like $250, I think.
Yeah, but like if you go on Optcore, you're spending like $1,500 to $2,000 for like a rated helmet.
Yeah, there's some people. Oh, there's a $41 Temu helmet. We should get that and then ballistic tested that actually.
I'm pretty like some people have done that to where they like actually shoot the helmet, and
yeah,
I'm sure that's like made in some sweatshop.
Yeah,
overseas.
like donate. You guys get down and donate to us so
Yeah,
that we
give us
can.
your helmets.
Yeah, send us all kinds of helmets for us to up to pressure rate.
Peter
And,
can wear them.
Yeah, we'll put them on Peter. We'll put them on Peter and watch him have an anxiety attack live on air.
I'll push you around the rest of your life in the wheelchair.
Yeah.
I'll be like your courier.
Yeah, we'll take turns wiping your ass, Peter. Like Taco Bell again, Peter. Come on, he's like just Bush beer and Taco Bell. Jeez, oh man, we just squeegee you off. We'll just make like a shower pit, like one of those cows, and just squeegee you off every day. How's that sound?
But yeah, one of my buddies is
He's
like,
just shaking his head. He's not very conversational right now. We're gonna get to you, Peter.
we need you to come on.
You better just buckle up, Buttercup, because you know what's coming. The segment that everybody waits for every week is coming up here in just a couple of minutes. So just buckle up, buddy.
But yeah, one of my buddies that always comments, he was like, you guys need to talk about like gear stuff too, and I was just like,
yeah.
well, like I know that you said you have one, the blaster belt,
like my tack belt or whatever, my gun.
Is yours like does it have
It's Gray Ghost and
armor in it?
No, I don't know. It's not ballistic rated. Where would they put ballistic?
Well, where would they put ballistic? You know how like the police officers body armor is only like, if you, some of those guys don't even run plate. Like the old school body armor is like the soft armor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my one buddy Harris had like a ballistic belt. It was called a battle belt. Yeah, it was like it was like really thick, and it was some sort of rating. I'm sure it wasn't. It was. I know for a fact it didn't have plates in it, but it was. It was
to keep for like
fragments and stuff like that
from your like your pelvis or whatever.
Yeah,
so interesting.
It was. It was pretty cool. But
no, mine's not ballistic rated.
A lot of people run those belts now. It's like one of the cooler things to have, because you can just put your pistol, just another place to put med stuff, hang chem lights.
Yeah, I have some of those ESEC, ESEC or whatever mag holders on it, so you can put a bunch of different types of mags inside of it.
Like
it's like awesome.
The ones that are like hard.
Yeah, they have like a retainer, and I'll bring it. We can bring it next week, and we can talk battle belt stuff. But yeah, for this week, I just wanted to do the.
There's like so much gear you can get into.
Man, we could have a whole segment every week about freaking gear on this.
Yeah.
And another gear queer is Sonny is like definitely, he's like,
he loves gear.
Oh yeah, like he was here the other day, and his Forerunner, it was open, and my son was like, he's loaded. Like that's what he said. He's loaded. He had all these just like plate carriers and bags and stuff in the back. And I laughed at you. I thought it was pretty funny. But Peter, we need to get to your segment, buddy, because like we're gonna I see we're already running out of time. It's amazing we start talking. We sometimes say, oh, we don't really have anything to. So how's Lent going?
Good.
Okay. And you're still not gonna tell us yet how many days we got left. You're not gonna tell us what you did.
No.
It wasn't. You didn't. We can narrow things down though. We keep each week we narrowing things. It's not alcohol, right? Because like you're still like right. You're still dabbling in a serious way. Like like meet your dog and kids kind of experimental way, right? Like, have we figured it out yet or no?
Are you gonna tell us though?
Yeah,
when it's all done. All right.
Have you is it something that you can really get drawn into?
It's a lot. It's something that like takes you away from thinking
is
about
it something
God.
that like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like you can get drawn into if you've had too many silver bullets.
well, yeah, maybe.
You gave up cocaine.
You should drink just not to excess, as long as it doesn't affect my decision making.
Well, no, I understand. We understand that. We're just trying to understand what you gave up for Lent. That's just we're trying to prod you a little bit.
And all this, if you at the end and you're just like, I gave up meat, would that be like?
He didn't though. He didn't give up meat. We saw that. We saw him eat and stuff.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Meat is only can't be eaten on Friday.
Yeah. No red meat on. But he did send me a picture of a delicious fish dinner. Was it good? No, it wasn't good because
It would have been good.
somebody.
What happened?
There was hair on my plate.
I love the fact that you like it was your cousin's. You say it was your cousin's bar.
Yeah.
It was your cousin's bar, and you were like, "Take that off my bill." The funny thing is, your cousin charging you to eat there. That kind of amuses me. You guys are not that close? I guess is what you're getting at. You are that close?
Well, when I was younger, but I mean, I still go there.
My cousin owns Rand's. He probably charges me extra. Do you think the hair? Because I hate that too. Like I won't. Was the hair embedded in the fish, or was it just lightly
like
placed on
fried.
the fish?
Yeah, like it got fried with it.
No, it was on the fish and then kind of went into the mac and cheese.
Was it a curly
That is
hair?
gross. Yeah,
No, it was curly. It went that long.
it was strong. It was a long, stringy hair, wasn't it?
Yes.
You ever
Yeah.
seen the movie Waiting? Waiting, where they
I
like
haven't seen that in a long time.
go in the kitchen and like do the goat, and they're throwing people's food on the ground.
Oh shoot!
But yes, hair and food is a no bueno. Let's go with the McChickens, dude.
Yeah.
Or the
we
McFish
can't-
or
he can't-
fish
the
fillet or whatever.
Fillet of fish, yeah. Did you have any fillet of fish this week?
Yes.
Because you said that
I had
that was
Friday for lunch.
you said that was the best. So we just want to make sure
But it's better than
it is. I had the Arby's one the other day. It was pretty good. I was okay with that. So, anyways, good Lent update. There's nothing major that we have to worry about right now from you, right? Okay, you're squared away. Great. Okay. So, we'll finish the segment with just what's going on politically. Is everybody happy? Like, I'm happy with. I heard this week that they are going to take out, I think, a third of the ATF agents that they have, which is great. That's like great news for me because like they've had this zero tolerance policy that they're running around looking, for FFLs to mess up or whatever. It's that always is what makes me laugh is, okay, so we get a license, we get all this stuff signed up. Basically, we make ourselves the policing agency essentially of our customer base, right? So if we have a problem with somebody, they get reported, if they get denied, blah, 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 all this stuff. So then okay, so you have private citizens that are starting businesses to help you police with things, and then you want to shut them down or take them over or make it hard for them to do their job. So like that doesn't make any sense in my mind. Why would you yeah, they hate us. I mean, that is the long and short. The government hates the private citizen. And that's always the contention. So it's good to see that they're starting to take a lot of these agencies, like the Department of Education. They got rid of that. Awesome. Love it. The Department of Education has educated 0 children, and our test scores haven't gone up or done anything but maybe gone down more. Because I think that your community, you know, should be responsible for your kids' education, and they should want to do better than, you know, not. And yeah, it's just, I don't know.
What
What
about
have
the
you been
gold
seeing?
card?
What about
I
it?
guess we've made like $5 billion on the gold card.
Really, have we?
You know which card I'm talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah, I know.
Like a
First to get citizenship,
yeah, it's
you
like a
just pay for-
ride-a-rama from Cedar Point.
Ride-a-rama.
You get this gold card, and now
Yeah.
you're an American citizen. Thanks
Yeah.
for your money.
Yeah.
How much was it? Like $5 million or something like that?
Yeah, it was like 5 million, wasn't it, Peter?
Yeah, it was up there.
Come on, Peter. You're supposed to have like your freaking laptop open or something. You're like,
Who
you're
in
like our
Mexico
guy.
can afford
Well, I
that?
had it here. I never used it.
Oh, well, don't stop bringing you. We need to have you Google stuff for us. 'Cause it's not good to
$5 billion on gold cards.
Is that really?
That was last week. I saw it online.
Really?
Yeah.
I wonder if you get a slushy, or what do you think you get with the gold card? Free alcohol for a year,
So
or
you
what?
literally just go to the,
I guess you give them $5 million and they give you an assistantship.
and then you just go to the border and you're like, here's my card.
Okay, here, you know how we talked about the grape thing the other day? Here's a question for you. So what if they said, okay, you could sell your citizenship for, you know, 5 million. Would you sell your citizenship for 5 million?
Where would I have to go?
Anywhere but here. You'd have to go somewhere else. Would you do it for 5 million?
$5 million.
You could live like you could actually be the Prince of Egypt.
I know.
You could
Some of these
be-
islands I could buy and just. What about Switzerland? That's a nice country, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's but I think they're really closed. They don't like.
They don't like. They wouldn't like. me.
No, they
Oh
don't
my
like
God.
anybody. Yeah.
I would probably go to like. I'd go to like Syria.
all the worst places
Test
to
the
go.
waters.
Yeah, of all the places.
See how long it
to
takes
go.
me to get on Al Jazeera.
Yeah. Holy crap.
No, I probably would not. I'd have to bring my family.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably some nice countries out there,
maybe if you sold all of their citizenships too.
Done. Australia. I'd go to Australia, dude. I'd go to Australia.
$20 million. You could probably relocate somewhere pretty nice.
Yeah, I mean, the cost. What's the highest cost of living in the world? Dubai,
Probably.
and then probably us.
Yeah, for
California.
sure. I think the median like living arrangement, we're definitely number one. Like just the middle class, just the normal everyday person. I think the UAE, that's a little bit different because there's a lot of tourism there too. So like I'm not sure how much what I know that they like the cops there or something like that. They like drive like Lamborghinis or something like that.
Really?
Yeah.
In Dubai?
Yeah. They have so much money, they're just looking for places to
I would
spend it on.
immediately go because I watched this dude.
Could you imagine handing Sonny the freaking keys to a Lamborghini? That would be irresponsible.
I would go right to Turkey, and this is a guy that I follow on TikTok. He just is like this barber, and he like does all this crazy massage stuff, and it's just like
You get a massage.
I'd go there, and then I'd go to like India. Dude, India's a dump. I'd go there and like it is, dude. It's people serving food out of the back of like a jingle truck.
Jingle truck.
It's nasty, dude.
Yeah.
I'd pay somebody like $5 to clip my toenails or something like that.
Yeah, 50 cents. They would like clip your toenails and eat it. It's like the most protein they've had all week.
Dude, you can go.
You could be some kind of Buddhist monk, and they'd be clipping your toenails and eating the toenail shit.
You ever seen Ace Ventura?
Yeah,
Nature Calls,
Sure,
where he's
sure,
like
sure.
in that Buddha place.
Yeah,
Where would that be?
India, yeah,
Is it in India?
Buddhism's in India, yeah. Peter, where would you sell your citizenship for $5 million, and where would you go?
Probably
Not even
You are
like.
such a buzzkill sometimes, Peter. Why can't you play the game with us? Okay, why?
But like, there's countries that are like worth going to, like that you could live in. Like,
Yeah.
probably Switzerland. Germany's nice right now.
Yeah, you could go to Germany,
England, Australia.
For $5 million, you could be set up pretty cool. Pretty
I
cool
mean,
place.
you
Like
lived in
Iceland.
Russia.
Yeah.
For $5, if you had $5 million,
you could live like a freaking king.
like, would you have? I mean, how much is a house over there?
Like nothing. Like $10,000-$20,000, something like that. They give like apartments away for free. I mean, they're garbage. Don't get me wrong. That place is a dump.
Concrete.
Just concrete jungle. Yeah, absolutely. They think it's great. I'm like, nah, you guys. It's I love you guys. There's a lot. If any of my friends over there is like watching, like, sorry, but I mean, you got some beautiful parts of the country, but where you guys live sucks. It
Now,
just
would
always
they
sucks.
like investigate you? Like, oh, what do you guys do in America? Or like, would they?
I think a lot of that. I think the first time when I went like very, very early on in the 2000s, there was a lot of like questioning like that. But now there's so much the advent of the iPhone basically is a window to everybody's life,
Yeah.
all over the world. You can pretty much pick up, how people live, through that window. So there's probably a lot less, at that point. I think the iPhone 1 or 2 was, or the first one was done. It was, I think, 2 or 3 or something like that. It was early on when I was actually living there. So there's a lot less, I guess, mystery to it, as far as what was America, and at that point too, there were a lot of Russians in and out of America as well. So like the flight back home was just packed full of Russians. There were like no Americans. 'Cause
Really?
they were like, oh yeah. I watched a guy. He probably 70 years old. He looked 70 years old. He was probably Peter's age, but he had the duty free bag, and how you're not supposed to like open that stuff. Now he just like kicked off the top of a big, the biggest bottle of Bailey's I've ever seen in my life, and just tipped that thing up. And the stewardess, we're on the tarmac, and she's just screaming at him, "Sir, do not open any of the duty free." And he's glunk, 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 glunk. That guy slept for 10 hours. We were on that flight for 10 hours. He just and by the time we got over, like coming to Russia, that you get with your meal, you get a free drink, you get a beer or whatever, and they would, do you want another one or whatever. It was complete freaking chaos. Like within 3 hours, so we're over England. The captain gets on. The plane is completely out of alcohol.
Really?
Completely out of alcohol. They were drinking the duty free stuff. They kept coming online, and they're like, stop drinking the duty free bottles. They're just hammering the duty free bottles. In the first 3 hours they drank the flight completely dry. So everybody's just like in riot mode. Like everybody is tuned up. It was wild. So definitely alcoholism in Russia is rampant. It is just rampant.
Vodka?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my wife and I would walk to the grocery store like every other day, because like you have these tiny refrigerators that probably the size of that one, that the little floor dorm fridges that you had in your apartment, and we'd go every other day, and you just see these guys, like there'd be like playgrounds all over the place, and they just like passed out on the seesaw. It's like 8 in the morning. It's like 8, 9 in the morning, and people are just passed out everywhere. It's like nothing to do. It's like miserable, gray. They're just like you passed out on all the play equipment or in a dumpster or whatever. You just be walking by like, oh my gosh, there's somebody passed out there. So yeah, definitely a very, very prevalent thing. Like they drink kvass is the thing that they drink in the summer. It's like this. They call it root beer, but it's like got 1% alcohol. Like, and the kids are like drinking this stuff, so they got a propensity for that taste, early on, that kind of like very savory beer taste.
What's the drinking age?
2, I don't know.
It's just, you can order it.
It's just so, I mean, it's just so prevalent. I think they probably would say like 16 or 18 or something like that, but it's just such a prevalent thing that like, even if you gave a kid a beer, they would just, they were like, what was really funny was when they were like, I'm like, alcohol's like kind of a problem around here. And they're like, yeah, there's, you're like, they're like, did you know that somebody can be an alcoholic on beer? And I'm like, most of the alcoholics I know are alcoholics on beer. I was like, what are you talking about? But like a beer drunk, somebody that's an alcoholic on a beer, it's like something like, that just blows their mind that somebody could be because it's so common, and in their mind the alcohol that's a problem is like hard spirits, you know what I mean? So they're like, there's such a thing as beer drunks. I'm like, yeah, America's full of them. But that made me laugh because they're like, there's guys that get drunk on beer, and I'm like,
did you see like Budweiser and shit over there?
No, it was all domestic. Russian. A lot of Russian or Polish. My translator was like, I want to try some vodka, and he's like, well, I gotta really read it because like some of that stuff you can go blind. Like it's just they label it, but there's no controller over there.
Did you see anything like when you were like grocery shopping or like your everyday stuff like toothpaste, body soap? Like was anything like it is here, like the name brands and stuff like that?
So like Heinz products, it all tastes different, but because it's regional, like they'll use regional stuff. But the like Heinz tomato ketchup was there, that came out of Sweden, so there was a lot of Swedish style stuff that Heinz made there. Nestle was also there, and like ice cream, but their ice cream fat content was like 3 times ours. I mean, it was like super, super rich on all that stuff. But yeah, their cuisine is like totally different.
Like Old Spice, Axe body wash.
No. It's like old Papa Lenin's, douche canoe, like whatever freaking armpit soap or something like that. Yeah, I mean, especially in Europe, it's. Hygiene is totally different, like all of that stuff. They
don't give a shit.
No, it's not that they don't give a shit. It's just that it's just such a different standard. Like you and I, like I take a shower in the morning. I take one before I go to bed. Like there's like 2 that they wouldn't do that. Like another, like 2 days. Oh, like the body odor is like for real over in other countries. Like, but after a couple of days, you kind of just get used to it. Like it is kind of one of those myths where like, people talk about like a deodorant is like something that was propagated over this. Yeah, I mean, kind of. You do get your sense of smell kind of gets changed, and you're not so sensitive to body odor. But I still I brought deodorant and 3-4 months worth of deodorant or whatever when I lived there. So yeah, it's just a different culture, and but I'll end on this story. So you want to hear like culture stuff. So my wife and I went to our normal grocery store because like they have these little grocery stores that like a grocery store would be the size of like the gun shop. So not very big. They typically had 1 or 2 specialty things that they were different from the guy down the street, but they were like very prevalent. Like in a city block would have 1 grocery store per city block or a little kiosk or whatever. So we'd go the one that was closest to our apartment. And this one day we walked down there and it was just firebombed. It was just completely burned out. And I was like, what happened here? And one guy was like, milk prices were too low. So like the mob like kind of controls all that. And if somebody gets out of line and tries to make more money than everybody else, they just like burn their business to the ground. Wow. It's like total cronyism. So yeah, it was pretty wild. I was like, oh, okay.
So then you had to walk like an extra mile to go.
I had to walk an extra block. I don't know if it wasn't a mile, but I had to walk an extra block. I was really disappointed because like tea time's a real big thing there. It's an influence from, you know, England when Tsar Peter the Great was, you know, he was the one to introduce Western culture into Russia essentially. But tea time was something that they adopted. So you have a, you know, breakfast, tea time, lunch, tea time, dinner, and then like sometimes even later tea time. It's a very like important thing in their culture. And if anybody is around, like if you guys were here and it was about time for tea time, I would like get the tea out, get the cookies and things like that. It was like a part of the culture that if you were around somebody, you needed to be able to provide for them a part during tea time. And they had that grocery store carried these little like they were like sponge cake bears that were full of like caramel. I love them little suckers. And I was pissed whenever I turned the corner and that thing was burnt. I was like, come on, no more caramel bears. I was pissed. You can ask my wife. It was kind of funny. So
that's funny.
Anyways, we've digressed quite a bit. So appreciate you guys watching. Tune in next week. We'll talk to you more about whatever's on our brains at any given moment in time. So have a good week, guys.
See you guys.